talk about marriage. But before we do that, so start producing all those thoughts that you have about marriage. Before we do that, we're going to watch a very short video about an Afghan wedding. This video is very loaded with a lot of information. The only thing you're going to see is the bride entering, but there's a lot of information in that one thing that you're going to look at that we also need to discuss. And second thing, remember last year in class I asked you, and each one of you had to answer, are you the thinker of your own thoughts, or are you just reflecting other people's thoughts? Remember when we had that conversation? Well, when we start talking about marriage, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to make sure that you are the thinker of your own thoughts. Don't be telling me what you heard in church, what your mama said, what your grandma does. You're going to become the thinker of your own thoughts, and you're going to be as honest as possible while we discuss this topic. Because if you're not thinking your own thoughts, you're just being a puppet and repeating what everybody else says. And we don't want that kind of people in this world, because that's the reason why the world is so messed up. So we're going to start first with that short video. It's not really that short. Let me see how short it is. 3 minutes. But while you look at her, I want you to just not pay attention to her walking in. I want you to grasp the entire essence of what's happening in that video. And the person that she's walking in with, of course, is the person that she's getting married to. Okay, so let's look at this. And the title is really, very clear, Afghan Wife Entrance. Badly written, but yeah. Okay. Talk to me. Go deep. What were your thoughts as you were watching this? I don't even know, I don't have a word for it, but it's the extreme decoration, that's it. The extreme decoration of this beautiful, beautiful bride. What were your thoughts?
I was thinking about the music.
Okay.
It goes like.
Okay. So you like the music. What about the rest of you? What were your thoughts?
I saw like 3 or 4 times the ladies. So the bride was walking to the aisle, and her gown was just moving, and every time she made few steps, a lady would come by and arrange her gown like behind, like so many times, and she wasn't even smiling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because it's morning, but I felt that so long. The procedure of walking to the aisle was so boring. I don't know if you saw me mowing like tons of time, or maybe because it's morning.
Okay, so you thought it was just very boring. Okay, what about the rest of you? I want somebody to go really deep. Really deep. I got the impression, so I'm going to start this because probably you're scared of saying it, but I got the impression that she was just like a trophy. Like he's walking in showing off his kite or his, I don't know, his car or something. That's the feeling that I got. What about the rest of you? Or anybody else got that feeling too? Nobody else felt that? People, we're going to have to watch that thing again, at least a few minutes. Also, something else that I noticed the first time, that's why you need to pay attention. The first time I noticed that the little boys were dressed like in normal t-shirts, and the little girls were also wearing these really elaborate, weird clothes, which are beautiful, by the way. It's your ethnic clothes and it's beautiful. But why were the little boys wearing t-shirts and jeans and the girls weren't? That's the second thing I noticed. So first, the attitude of, this is my beautiful shoe that I'm showing you. And second, the difference between how little boys get to be comfortable and little girls don't. Who noticed something else? We're gonna watch this thing again because you weren't paying attention. You were like Moises, you got carried away by the music. Who noticed something else other than the lady who was, running to fix her dress? I need you to focus on the feeling of the thing. What else did we notice?
I felt sorry for the guy, and somehow like
Why?
they were pressing him to marry, and he was like,
Why do you think
Yeah,
they were pressuring him to marry? Why do you think that? All
I
right,
think
so-
that in the main attraction was in the woman every time. Like people were taking pictures only of her, and she was the only she was the only one that was well arranged and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
mean, everything looked like it has to be flawless, nothing
Yes.
else. Just flawless, and that's it.
Okay, so I'm looking for the video because I closed my browser. But we're gonna watch a few minutes, not the whole 3 minutes. We're gonna watch a few minutes of this thing again, and I want you to really, really, really focus on what you feel that's going on in the room. Not just look, pay attention to what it's making you feel, because that's how you get to understand how other people feel when you see the reaction that it has in your body, okay? Yesterday, okay, I'm gonna tell you that after we watch this. Give me a second. This is,
Something on her. She's carrying something. I don't know.
okay, yeah, some kind of traditional jug or something. Mm-hmm. What else did we notice? Did you see the difference between how the little boy is dressed and the little girl is dressed? Yeah, little boy has jeans and a t-shirt, and little girl is with this really pretty thing that's ethnic. Yeah. Who was gonna say something?
They didn't smile. They are
Mhm.
always serious,
They didn't smile. And notice that they were kind of talking to each other like, just saw their lips move like, who knows what they were saying, but it didn't look sweet. What else? One more thing.
They look kind of forced to do that.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, marriage is beautiful. It's wonderful. But here's the problem. And I love this. If any Afghan people ever watch this video, I love the culture, love the food, love the clothing. Beautiful. But Afghan culture is usually one of the most chauvinist cultures that exists, meaning that the men have this deep belief that they're superior to women and that women are supposed to be only this pretty little thing that stays at home, clean, wash, cooks, and has babies. Okay? So when you think about this, which is one of their cultural traditions, to believe that men are superior, and you look at this wedding scene, give me some deep thoughts about this. Make a deep connection. I can see the connection happening, but make it happen faster. Put some steroids on it. Make that connection. Okay, let me help you. Compared to the groom, how much more jewelry or how much more expensive do you think the bride's clothing is compared to the groom's? How much more expensive? Did you see the difference there? She's wearing like tons of jewelry, tons. And those are not cheap, because I know for a fact that traditionally they are going to invest in the most expensive and the purest jewelry compared to the guy. How much jewelry was he wearing? Do you see the chauvinism in this? Or am I just making this stuff up? Ah, you don't see it. So a woman is this beautiful little thing that you decorate and you show off to your friends, but she doesn't have much of a brain. She's just this pretty decoration. Let's throw some jewelry on her and make her look pretty, but then let's treat her like the empleada domestica at home because she's just pretty. She's not smart. Do you not sense this in this whole thing? And you know the sad part is, ladies and gentlemen, that most of you here sitting will tell me from, you know, oh no, I believe that men and women are equal. I believe, in fact, that women can be even better than men at some things. I believe that women are as strong as men. Most of you or all of you would tell me that. But you still want to have the princess role, not knowing that that whole princess role is what is keeping a lot of women subjugated. So let's talk about that for a moment. Let's talk about that for a moment. All women want to look pretty and wear fancy jewelry and stuff. Not all, but most. Nothing wrong with that. But when you allow your culture to only see you as this beautiful thing that's decorated and to walk with you like, look at the new car I just bought, isn't it pretty? Then you are becoming a part of the whole problem. You are a part of the problem. You are. Because then you're going to bring up your little boys to think that it's okay to only have girls as decoration. Oh, she's so pretty. She decorates me. She makes me look good. So, ladies and gentlemen, the topic here is marriage. What is marriage? Yeah, marriage. What is marriage? What is this thing?
Well, I think there's a lot of definition because there's
Yeah,
a
but
lot
give
of
me yours. Give me yours. What do you think marriage is?
I don't care.
Somebody who actually cares and has a definition. What is marriage?
Okay, I could say that soulmates. I think it's the word soulmates.
I don't know who's, oh, okay, Ana Lucia. Okay, so in your definition, marriage are soulmates. Okay, anybody has another one? Amir?
I think that is when someone decides to be one with the other person that we will be getting married.
I mean, settle down. That's what I think is marriage and other stuff, but mostly settle down. You know, marry, have kids, have some drama with your kids and family and the family of your husband, you know.
Okay.
I think marriage is like a contract.
Mhm.
I mean, in the legal sense, but like both of the people are together, supposedly until they die, till death do us part. And so something happens if they break up, like they get half of their things ish, something like that. They take like the house, the money, and the belongings all gets divided into if they break up. So that's like a deterrent so that they don't break up. And I don't know, I see it like that because a lot of people get married by church, but even more people just get married by the legal side because not all people are Catholic or Christian. I don't know. So that's how I see it. Like it's assuring you that if your man breaks up with you, you won't be left in the street with nothing because everything belongs to the two.
Nice. Anybody else? One more person? What is marriage?
I think that marriage is like the commitment to share the rest of your life with someone else.
Uh-huh. Nice. So why do people get married? Why do people get married? The silent students. Don't let me start calling your names now. Why do people get married, Genesis Aparicio?
Get benefits.
To get benefits, okay. Genesis,
Yeah.
why do people get married?
I think some of them do it because they really love each other and really want to get married, but other people do it that just because they have like a pressure that they need to get married.
I like that. The pressure that you need to get married. why would somebody think that you need to get married? What are some of the reasons why people pressure people to get married?
Religion sometimes.
Sometimes religion. What else?
Outdated traditions and beliefs that they think that at certain age you have to be married or else you're not successful in life. Or they think that if you don't have a bride, then you're undesirable. Nobody wants you.
Yeah. Outdated traditions and beliefs like that. So we said religion.
Or maybe they think that if you're not married, you're not serious about your relationship. They think that, oh, he's not gonna marry her, he's just playing with her or using her or whatever. And they are like, he's not serious about relationships.
I'm liking this. So what's another reason why people get married? We said religion, we said outdated beliefs, pressure. What else?
People
Maybe
say
because
you're gonna be alone.
Okay, so Eduardo and then Layali. What were you saying, Eduardo?
People tell you you're gonna be alone, so you had to meet your own family.
Okay, Layali.
Maybe because you will get old. They say that when you're old, you wouldn't have a chance to be with someone.
I'm liking this. But people, all of those reasons that you're giving me are really good, but then so many marriages are failing. So many people are getting divorced. So then, like, what's the point? I'm seeing a trend in society, and I'm seeing the trend in your thought. And remember, you have to be the thinker of your own thought. Don't be telling me what other people told you. We talked about this last year. Are you the thinker of your own thoughts? So what I'm seeing here is that, oh, I don't want to be alone. I better get married. Oh, if I'm not married, I'm worth less. Oh, if I'm not married, I'm not going to be seen as successful. So that's a tendency that I'm seeing in society. So then, however, most marriages, it's not even like half like before. Now it's most marriages end in divorce. And those who don't get divorced stay together, but they're miserable. They want to kill each other. So then what's happening here? What's the problem here? You're going to get married one of these days, most of you, so you better start talking. Let's figure
And
it
then
out.
choose the correct person to share the rest of her life.
They didn't choose the correct person. Okay, so let's pause and let's talk about that for a few minutes. If you are 18 years old, do you think you're going to be able to choose the correct person to spend the rest of your life with?
No.
Yet, so many people 18 years old are getting married. So what's happening? If you are a representation of society, and you are telling me that 18, you don't know, then why are so many kids your age getting married? I'm not understanding this thing. Okay.
Because they see this whole thing about the marriage like a
trend.
Like a trend.
Ah, it's a trend. Okay. So then why would you have less possibility of choosing the right person at 18 than at 28, for instance? Why? Why would you make a mistake at 18? Diane Otero, talk to me. Wait, Sally. Diane, talk to me.
Well, I think we can make mistakes at any age, but at 18 is principally because we do not know too much. We don't have too many experiences, and we can judge being in that point of view.
Okay, good. Sally?
I think because maybe we have that thought of kids, maybe neither at 18 we're grow up. Even that we have 18 doesn't mean that we're adults and the capacity of choose the right person at that age, I think.
Good. I can tell you one reason, and it has everything to do with the video we just watched. A lot of little girls, when they're little girls, they dream of being a bride. They want to have a perfect wedding and look like a princess and have the princess dress and all the jewelry in the hair and everything is beautiful and everybody's looking at you and taking your pictures because you're so beautiful. They dream of being a bride and have absolutely no idea how to be a wife. And they think that being a wife is just washing, cooking, and I don't know, changing diapers. And they have no idea. And that's one of the biggest issues that I have with weddings and society and the world in general. We are teaching our little girls to be the princess, the perfect bride, the beautiful dress, the big wedding with 500 guests, the perfect food. And you know, if you've ever watched the process of a bride planning a wedding, they get crazy over the silliest details. And none of that is important. None of that is important. You could get married wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and it does not guarantee that your wedding is going to be worse than the person who had the beautiful dress, the 500 guests, and the doves flying in the air and fireworks spelling out their names. We as a society are focusing on the wrong thing. So let's put it like this. If the whole celebration of the marriage, the wedding, is not that important, why do people make loans, spend thousands of dollars for this one celebration and then call it the best day of my life, which I have an issue with, but I'll tell you about that some other day. Why do people spend so much money on the wedding celebration to get divorced, to be unhappy, and to be broke afterwards? Talk to me.
I think human beings have this issue that they love to make everything look special and precious. But you're special and, and precious. You don't need things and object to make that thing work or make you value. No. And that's one of the things that I hate from human beings, that they make anything. Oh, I have a book. Let's make a ceremony about this book because it's so good and you can understand it, okay? And no, wait. We will have a reunion and we will share food, okay? Okay?
Let's go to somebody who has not spoken. Isabela Navarro. Why do people spend these thousands of dollars in this one little party and then be miserable for the next 20 years? What's happening with us humans?
I just don't see how that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense, but everybody does it. Why?
What's the point? I mean,
Experience, maybe.
Cartoons, Isabela Navarro. Are you watching cartoons?
there's songs playing.
Okay. Okay, so people, if this doesn't make sense, why does generation after generation after generation keep doing this?
I feel like it's trying to, it's like giving a sense of a new start, having a new start with something beautiful and outstanding, having a new start.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One more person. Why are we spending so many thousands of dollars on a dress, on a party, on food, on a celebration that lasts one day in our culture, and then spending 20 years miserable after that? Why are we doing this? Why do we keep doing this over and over again? Aranza, yes, talk to me.
I think that it's part of the culture. Everything has to do with the culture.
Mm.
You have to have this big wedding with that beautiful dress and spend lots of money, because if you don't do so, then you are poor, or you don't love your future husband or whatever. But it's part of the culture.
Okay. Mary, did you want to say something? Mary Foster? No?
I just want to say, like, it's...
Okay. Who was talking? Isabela, were you talking? Who was talking? Somebody was talking.
Yeah, I just remember a couple days ago, I was talking about this with my mom. I told her, I'm going to spend thousands of dollars on a stupid dress that the next day it will stay like in a corner covered of dust. And she was like, why not? It isn't important. I'm like, no, there's no way I'm doing that. I mean, I'm just 17. I can't say dumb things right now, but I'm pretty sure I
You
wouldn't do
might
it.
change your mind. Mary Romero, what were you gonna say?
I forget, sorry.
Oh, have mercy, child, take some vitamins. Anyway, the thing is this, ladies and gentlemen, all of us are aware that it makes no sense, but those of you in this group who are gonna get married are probably gonna make the exact same mistake. When I was getting married, I got married at 28. Please don't get married before 28, please. I mean, please. I got married at 28 and I still look back and say I was too young. Anywho, I got married at 28 and just before I got married, I had a cousin who got married. And I had a job. The person I was gonna get married to had a job. This person, my cousin, didn't have a job and the person she was gonna marry to had a job. These people had their wedding in the fanciest hotel at the time in the city. The fanciest hotel. Okay, it was like this ridiculously beautiful wedding. Everything was just extra. Let's fast forward a few years, 20-something years. She still doesn't have a job. He still doesn't have a job. And they're miserable and want to kill each other. I had another incident when a friend of mine got married and she went to the bank and got a loan and borrowed like $5,000 to have a dream wedding. 2 years later, she's divorced. What is the point? Why would you put so much emphasis on the thing that's the least important? Because the money that you spend on your wedding is not going to guarantee that you're going to be happily married. No. But we have this idea that we want to be, we want to be the princess and we want to look for what? Yes, who was talking?
It's all about the money because as you said, they spend a lot of money and you have to consider that there are a lot of businesses that gain a lot of money from that. And so the best publicity they can do is making people believe that, making people link emotionally their celebration of their wedding. Like they think that's something beautiful and I mean, it is, but it's too expensive and it doesn't matter. It's a lot of unnecessary details and they get a lot of money from that. So that's their way of making money, making people believe that's important when it's not. And taking away focus from the fact that what's important is that the couple loves each other. And so they don't focus on that and they focus on the dress and the cake and the place they're gonna be in and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anybody else? Instead of yes.
I think that it's because maybe if you're not sure of the person you are married, it's to apparent like to feel a special day. You want to feel special that day, and I think that's why some people spend a lot of money in that, even that you're not sure with that person they're marrying.
Yes, Sally, that's really a really good point. You know what? You need to feel special every day. You don't need to spend $5,000 to feel special. I mean, just look at yourself every morning and, with all the moco and the baba and the ojeras, tell yourself that you're special because you are. But yeah, I understand your point. People want to feel special one day. Instead of spending 1 year to 6 months, 6 months to a year, planning your wedding, getting all the details, make sure that you are a person that are worth marrying. Work on yourself. Don't be working on the type of flowers. Work on you, on the person that you are. That's the most important thing. That's what you're going to marry. You're not going to marry the dress and the flowers and the jewelry. You're marrying a person. So spend some of that money and that time becoming a better version of yourself, offering a better version of yourself to the person you're going to get married to. Now, Adrian in the dark, you're very silent. I need to hear you.
What do you want to hear from me?
I want to hear your definition of marriage.
I guess it's a promise in a way. It's like marriage is just like not a promise, but more of a symbolic way of showing love. Like you get the ring, and the ring has a meaning, and then the marriage is like everyone gets to see this entire like promise that you're going to make to your spouse or to your husband that you're going to stay with them for the rest of their lives, which doesn't really become true in a lot of the cases.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, a lot of people get divorced like 5 years into their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's more because of the way people are bring up rather than the marriage itself. It's like you get sold the idea, then you misinterpreted the idea. Because that's why there's those compilations in the internet where it's like the guy makes some great proposal and then he gets rejected immediately. And I watched a couple of those. They are really heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. But yeah, a lot of people spend also a lot of money on the proposal. Like, oh, yes, I'll marry you. Whatever. So anyway, this is where you, the experts, come in. Every single one of you, you're going to give me one tip for a happy marriage. I know you're not married. I hope you're not married. You're going to think about one advice that you can give to make marriage better. Before you go there, why do you think so many marriages fail? Come on, the silent people. Who hasn't spoken? Brenda Lucia. Why do you think so many marriages just...
I think that when they get married, they feel like they have the best relation, but then they start getting problems. I don't know, in the jobs, with the money they have. No me acuerdo cómo se dice. But they start getting problems, and they like start peleando, fighting with her wife, and the love that they feel at first, they doesn't feel when they are in that problem. So I think that they left the love, and yes.
Okay, that's good. Go ahead, Mandisa.
I think one of the reasons is that women, they are so, forced to stick to the stereotype of the perfect wife. And by them doing that, they disrespect the space of their husband and themselves, because a part of living with another person, you have to respect their personal space. That means when you want to go out for dinner or something, you don't have to do it always. But the stereotype says that to be a perfect wife, you need to care about your husband like he's a baby, and basically you're the mom and he's the kid. That's one of the problems. Women are so forced to stick to these stereotypes that men sometimes get tired, like basically like, mom, stop molestándome. I need some time. That's girls should stop being like, oh my God, we need to go out to this place and out and leave the man do the things that he wants.
Okay.
And sometimes it's okay if you want to go out, but leave the poor man do the things that he wants. Okay, give him space.
Okay. Yes, Mary.
I think there are three things about a marriage. That the first thing is that you have to take time to meet the person correctly, because it's not only about the good things and the pretty little things about the person. It's only about also about the other part of the person that you may don't like everything about it, but it's part of the person. The second thing is that maybe they don't have like a correct perception of what love really is, because they may think that love is extremely linked to a feeling, but it's actually something you choose to do. And the third thing is that communication. Communication is like the key of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, people, so we don't have time, but so start thinking about the advice that you're going to give. But could somebody just really quickly tell me what is a wife and what is a husband? Because, you know, Mandisa mentioned something really important. A lot of times we grow up with this idea that you have to become your husband's mother. So you have to cook for him and estar pendiente sus cosas and wash his clothes and as if you were his mother. And that's not really what a wife is. And you know what? A lot of churches preach this thing from the pulpit that women have to be cooking and washing and and the man just appears and the food has to be there and it has to be warm. And then he leaves and she has to clean that up, you know. So what exactly is a wife? Is a wife like a grown man's mom? And what is a husband? Let's do this quickly so you can give me your advice because I really need to hear that. Let's go. What is a wife? Tell me, talk to me. One person before I start calling names. Oh, Natalie. You know I'm coming for you. Come on, tell me, Natalie, in your perspective, what is a wife?
For me, in my perception, I think that a wife should be or is a person that is there for her husband when he's feeling sick, when he's feeling sad, when he needs attention, when he needs like someone to be there for him. And I have the same thing of husband. I think that both of them have to be the same. It doesn't mean that if you're a wife, you should be cooking, washing dishes, and those things. The husband should do that too. And in my case, if I have a husband or something like that, I will like tell him that it's like good to be both of us do all the things of the house.
Yeah.
You understand?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. I get your point, Natalie, and I like it. So for you, a wife is more like a friend. It's like this very close friend who you can share your good things and your bad things with. I like that. Who wants to tell me what's a husband before you start giving me advice? Good. What's a husband? Quickly. Hello? Oh my goodness. Some of you are going to be husbands and you don't know what a husband is? How are you going to be a good husband?
The stereotype says that a husband is, their job is to make money and bring food to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm. So that's a stereotype. So what's a husband? You know, we're going to have to discuss this another class because this is important stuff. You are going to be wives and husbands, some of you. You're going to know what this thing is. I can't become a teacher if I don't know how to teach. And I can't become a wife if I don't know what a wife is. Because if I'm going to just wait on what society tells me, I'm going to end up being the empleada doméstica in the house. Okay, so words of advice. We're starting at the bottom of my screen with Sally, then Janice, then Brenda. Let's go. One tip, one advice for a marriage to work.
Well, it could be like to know what is the role, the real role when you're married. You know, what real do you have to do, not to be like a servant, but also feel like the wife of your husband.
Nice, nice. Janice?
get married like at a mature age, and if you're gonna get married like in a young age, be aware of what's your wife or husband, whatever, what are their goals in life, because then it can fail and it can be bad. Because if you do it like really young and you really don't know what are your goals in life and what do you want, and you're not including like your husband in those plans, and I think that's why you have to do it like in a mature age.
Yeah, that's great advice, Janice. I actually like that. Know what your goals are and what the person's goals are. Yeah, that's true, because sometimes we have these marriages where the guy wants to I don't know, continue his studies, and the girl wants to have babies, and then there's not money for both things. So yeah, that's great. Okay, Brenda Lucia, tell me one tip, one word of advice. And then after that comes Mary, Isabella, and Moises, and then I think we're going to end with Amir. Let's go, Brenda.
I think that don't worry about the situations. Not like don't worry. It's like, yeah, they will have situations, but they need to feel that love that they feel when they get married.
Yep, love it. Mary?
Well, most of the time, in the marriage, the people don't behave the same like when they were dating. So my advice will be that before you get married, it's better to live together for a couple of months. So you have time to see the both and the both lados,
sides,
the sides of the relation, take the best decision.
Okay, good advice. Isabella?
I just forgot it. I was about to
People, please take your vitamins. Take your vitamins. You can't be forgetting stuff. Get your vitamins.
Trusting them. Trusting them.
Yeah.
And don't spend it 24/7 together. Oh, Lord.
That's too much. I know. Moises?
I think that to have a good marriage, I mean, I'm at no capacity to give advice on this.
Yes, you are.
But I would say that a lot of the problems that come from marriages are like people not actually treating each other with respect. And so I think that respect, trust, and forgiveness are really important to have a good relationship. Because if you don't forgive the other person for something they did, like, I'm not saying like forgive everything, but minor things. Some people hold grudges on the stupidest things, and that's really bad, and that damages your relationship. So don't do that. Respect.
Great advice, Moises. Amir, let's finish with you.
I think that you can, well, I think that this is like advice for me. I don't know the order, but I say, like, if you can get married, if you don't have if you don't finish or secure the sources to provide your home. I don't know if I get explained.
Yeah.
If you don't have like a good job that provide yourself money, and you can give a house, a safe house to your family, you can get married in that time, in that period of time.
Very good advice. People, you are brilliant. I'm loving this. We're going to have a part 2 where you tell me what's a wife and what's a husband, because that's also mixed up. And again, you have to be the thinker of your own thought. People, look at yourself in the mirror every morning and tell yourself that you're wonderful, because you are. You're wonderful, you're enough, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're intelligent, and you deserve to be loved deeply and profoundly. No migajitas love. You deserve the deep stuff. Don't settle for anybody who's not giving you deep love. Okay, so that was fun. Please read the book. Please read the book. It's getting so good. It's so good. Stuff is coming out. Secrets are coming out. It's going to blow your mind. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.